how you choose to get to the Amalfi Coast can either make or break the beginning of your dreamy Italian trip. I'm Kate, and along with my husband Andrew, we've lived in Italy for months, exploring these areas extensively to help give you the best tips of how to and how not to get to the Amalfi Coast. We have top 3 ways of the best ways to get there and the top 2 ways of the ways you should absolutely not get there. Let's get started with how you're not gonna go. First things first, there are so many different little towns in the Amalfi Coast, but we're gonna primarily talk about Positano as the key main anchor point that we typically recommend to stay at if you're coming to the Amalfi Coast. Sorrento is another good option that is also going to be mentioned in this video. If you're looking for a more budget-friendly or a larger town, Sorrento is the way to go. But as a default in this video, we're talking about how to get to Positano from Rome. So here's how you're not gonna get to Positano. You are not gonna get to Rome and rent a car and drive yourself down there. Now you think you know how to drive. You may have a license, you may have an international driver's license, but you do not know how to drive like these Southern Italians do. They don't want you to do it. We don't want you to do it. The government doesn't want you to do it. Even if you somehow get a car and get down there, it is not gonna be a good time. Fighting the roads, fighting the winding ways, and trying to find parking is going to be a headache. We do not recommend this whatsoever. And the other way we don't recommend is what we found by trial and error as the worst way to get to Positano that will absolutely make for the roughest start to your trip, and it is the following. Keep up with me here. This is the cheapest option, but this is the worst option. So if you start in Rome, take the train down to Naples. That's fine. We're gonna advise that in a lot of other scenarios. But once you take the train down to Naples, then for the cheapest option, you would take the regional train, the Circumvesuviana, from Naples to Sorrento. This train takes much longer than it says it will take online. It takes about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, depending on people, how many stops, what's going on, if there's train delays. So many factors. There's not enough seating. This is Disney World on Christmas Day crowded. It is so packed, no matter the season. You'll be instantly making very close friends with whoever you're beside, and it is very cramped for far too long. The AC hardly works. It's a very crowded train. Definitely don't recommend it. So once you go from the Circumvesuviana from Naples to Sorrento, you get off the train, get a bus ticket at the bus station, and then wait in a long line and hope you can get on the next bus, because you can't always get on the next bus because most of the people on that train by that point are also going to Positano. So it may be several more buses by the time you actually get a bus ride. You're gonna wait in the heat outside for this bus until you can board. Once you get on board, you will be taking the scenic route on the very tall bus on the cliff sides, which is very stressful, and then finally get to your stop off point, which is not even your hotel. From there, you will take your luggage off the bus and then walk to wherever you are staying. That is gonna be up many hills, up many curving, winding roads, and just basically good luck to you. So that is the worst way to get to Positano. The most cost effective, but it is frankly not worth it. If you cannot afford the other 3 options we're about to list, Amalfi Coast just might not be right for you. It is a pricey destination, to say the least, and you really wanna go whenever you can make it worth the bang for your buck. And now from the best ways to get from Rome to the Amalfi Coast. The first option is the most expensive, but the easiest, is by hiring a private driver. You can get a driver to pick you up from anywhere, your hotel, the airport, the train station, and they will drive you, and they will drive you all the way down to your hotel in the Amalfi Coast. And that's the only step. It's as easy as that. It's several hours, but it's a scenic journey, and you can just kick back in the back seat, relax, and enjoy. The driver will typically take care of your luggage and then drop you off exactly where you need to be, so you don't have to climb all of the stairs and do all of the shuffling yourself, and it is the absolutely easiest hands-free way to go. And the second best option is a mix of speed train and driver. If you're flying into Rome, you can take the airport train from the airport to Rome and Termini, and then the speed train down from Rome and Termini to Napoli Centrale. From Napoli Centrale, you can have a private driver pick you up so that they can just take you directly to your hotel. And the final option we do recommend is taking the speed train from Rome to Naples and then taking the ferry from Naples to whichever Amalfi Coast town you're staying in. The speed train takes about an hour and a half to get from Rome to Naples. It's a very easy train ride. And then once you get to the train station, arrange a Free Now app rideshare or take a taxi. There'll be plenty of taxis outside waiting for you. It should cost between 10 and 15 euros for this short, about 10-minute journey. Once you're at the ferry terminal, you can either book tickets there, or we recommend booking ahead on the Ferry Hopper app. Ferries often run to multiple towns, so say if you're going to Positano, you might actually stop in Sorrento first or Amalfi first, but sometimes it's a straight shot just to Positano. Or if you're going to Sorrento, it could, vice versa. But the ferry typically takes between 45 minutes and an hour and a half, depending on stops in between, or if you booked the speed ferry. It can occasionally lead to a little bit of motion sickness if it's a really rocky, rainy day, but overall it's a pretty smooth ferry ride that's relatively enjoyable. Once you get off the ferry, this is the key part. Do not try to bring all of your luggage to wherever you're going if you're staying in Positano. They have luggage porters at the ferry port that you can trade off your luggage, give them the money, and they will take the luggage to your hotel. When I tell you we've done this the easy way and the hard way, the easy way is absolutely worth every dime, so that once you land in Positano, you can just start to enjoy yourself. No matter if it's a carry-on or something much larger, you do not want to carry this up the actual 700 steps it takes to get to a lot of different places in Positano. Take our word for it. Start your trip on the easiest way you can with whatever fits in your budget. The top 3 ways really are the only way to go. Do not drive yourself, and do not take the 8 million steps it takes to take the cheapest way out, because it really just doesn't start your vacation up to be the dreamy, relaxing vacation you have always wanted. So if this was really helpful for you, you'll find even so much more information on this exactly, along with a full guide, full, incredibly detailed 9-day itinerary. All the booking links you need for tickets, reservations, any question you have is answered in this guide. We're really passionate about helping you have the best vacation ever, and we think this guide can help you do just that. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.